I forgot to say hello, world. I'm coming to you live from my kitchen.
Warning, okay? If you don't want any spoilers, just go. Click X and leave this video now because it's gonna be the best thing for you to do. So there's no like major spoilers. We don't find out anyone who dies. We do find out some major life developments. In my last video, you already saw, I'm gonna say some spoiler words now. So if you're sensitive about these things, basically, I'm gonna show y'all the pictures and I'm gonna just talk my shit as I do, alright? I was watching Wentworth Life's one of his videos. I don't know if it was the last one or the one before that, but he had posted onto that video an episode 2 description. So the name of episode 2 is called Requiem. Requiem. I had trouble saying that the last time as well. Anyway, the summary is this. Lou finds herself comforted by Mari, not realizing her part in the murder of Reb. Boomer agrees to film salacious prison videos, and Rita reconciles with her estranged father. So from this here, okay, we can see that Mari did have something to do with Reb's death. So I'm assuming that the whole Mari and Sheila storyline of Mari talking shit in Sheila's ear, kill Lou, we gotta get her out of the way in order to save Reb, and then Reb ends up dying in the aftermath. I feel like that might be true. I don't know. All I know is that Sheila just might very well end up being Reb's murderer. I don't know. Something in me is thinking that it's Joan, but it's probably not Joan. It's probably going to be Sheila. Boomer agrees to film salacious prison videos, which means she's basically doing an OnlyFans for prison. And Rita reconciles with her estranged father. She makes amends with her dying dad, okay, before she enters the halls of Wentworth. Are you guys ready to talk about these photos? I'm going to start off with Allie. So we see the pictures of Allie in the explosion. You know what I'm saying? And she's amidst all these bricks, stuck, sitting in her wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? And when I was editing yesterday and I was looking at these pictures, I was like, oh shit, she's in the halls of Wentworth. Look at the bulletin board, all right? Look at the bulletin board. That's in the halls of Wentworth, which means that this explosion happened smack dab in the fucking center of the prison. Wow. I didn't explain it right in my last video, I don't think, but for me, I feel like she tries to get up and out of this wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? She tries and she fails and she falls to the ground. And so what happens? What happens? She falls there and she looks like she's fucking on death's door. But if you look at this photo here, what do you see? You see like a gleam of light right in the middle of the picture. You know what's that? That's B. Smith. When I saw that picture, I was like, oh, there goes B. Smith. There goes B. Smith. That's B. Smith. And that's the light coming for Allie. I'm just kidding. That's not what that is. I think that that's like a glimmer of hope. This is probably one of the last scenes of people coming to save her. That light is probably salvation, okay? Not B. Smith. Also see that Lou is bullying Allie throughout this season. So we see Lou running up on Allie in the halls. You know what I'm saying? She's playing her clothes. She got her face in her face. At one point, it even looks like she's about to attack Allie while Allie is sitting in the wheelchair. We also see Lou and Boomer. They're facing off in the middle of the yard. I know we saw a clip of this in one of the trailers where Lou and they're looking at each other and Lou walks off and Boomer's giving her the look of death. Now that we're talking about Lou, we're going to talk about Lou's heartbreak, man. She's grieving. She's on the floor. She's got her mattress on the floor. Like she doesn't even want to be on the bed. She just wants to be on the floor. This is her the lowest point in her life. These pictures are heartbreaking to see. This scene of Lou and Mari on the ground in the picture that I showed you before, I thought they were just regularly like on the floor, maybe in one of the cells. It turns out they're in the unit outside of their cells. She's in front of Reb Keen's cell door, collapsed on the ground, crying, okay? With her hands on the door, leaning up against the door, like, yo. When I saw that picture yesterday clearly, you know when you're on a roller coaster and the roller coaster is going down, that feeling you get in your stomach, that's what I felt when I saw that photo. And I almost fucking cried. So she's sitting by the cell doors, right? So I'm guessing maybe Reb did die in his cell. Maybe Craig Life once again was onto something in his theory when he said that Reb dies in the cell. I think that she's in front of the door because Reb did die in the cell, because that cell was the last place that Reb ever was alive. Lou crying at Reb's door was some of the most heartbreaking shit that I have ever fucking seen in the entire history of Wentworth. Por poco lloro, okay? Because, like, you know, you break up with someone and yeah, it's sad, but life goes on, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes when you break up with someone, like in the back of your head, sometimes you know, you have hope. When a person dies, that's it. You know what I'm saying? That is fucking it. And like, I know when people die, I believe that when a person, you know, leaves this earth, their spirit remains. You know what I'm saying? I firmly believe that. But you can't see them. You know what I'm saying? You can't touch them. You can't talk to them. And that is a different kind of grief than just breaking up with someone. Lou Kelly will never be the same. Every once in a while comes along a great love story. You know what I'm saying? We got Noah and Allie from The Notebook. We've got Robert Kincaid and Francesca from the Bridges of Madison County. All right? We've got Brenda Walsh and Dylan McKay from Beverly Hills 90210. Ariel and the Prince. All right? Mickey and Mallory Knox from Natural Born Killers. And now we've got Lou and Reb. They will live on, their love will, for eternity, because I will never let it die, all right? So we see pictures of Linda Miles and Ann Reynolds in the yard, and it looks, they're looking at something, you know what I'm saying? And then the next picture we see is somebody throwing some shit at Ann. It looks like, I don't know, some type of thick liquid. Maybe it's more of that damn pudding that's been floating around. Who knows? So what happens in the next photos is they end up chaining Judy's treacherous ass, all right, to the bench. Listen, she deserves nothing more than to be chained down to something. Just leave her there. So they chain her down to this bench, and she's flipping and fighting and screaming. She makes the actress that plays Judy Bryant, Vivian, I don't know her last name. She does some fantastic facial expressions, and we're about to see them all. So she's there and she's flipping and she's pissed, and she might as well be foaming at the mouth. She's chained there, she's appalled, like, what the fuck, y'all can't do this, yada yada. And then what happens? They leave her there. They leave her there because we see these photos here of her still there at nighttime, okay? And then we see, like, they just left her there to rot. We see the next photo, and it's her laying down on the bench. She can't take it. She's sleepy. That's it. They leave her there, and they come for her in the morning. So we see a picture of Mari Winter looking into a room through a window and a door, right? And I'm assuming on the other side of the door is this. These people, okay, here, all congregated to watch a event that's about to take place. The event that's about to take place is Judy Bryant being dunked in the water like she's at some damn carnival, okay? You know those booths where you throw the balls and the person falls into the water? That's what's happening here, except there is no ball, there is no booth, and it's just a bunch of crazy ass inmates. At Luke Kelly's request, okay, Judy Bryant is being dunked into this water. This water looks like they done took a fucking trash receptacle, okay, the big ones, took out all the trash, because you see trash strewn about on the floor. You see sideline inmates throwing green things at Judy. I don't know if it's wilted lettuce, okay, or green scraps of paper. I just don't know. I zoomed in, I can't call it. So that's what's happening here. They've emptied out this trash receptacle, okay, filled it with water. That bin is probably filthy with all the remnants of past trash in it, okay? They fill it with water, and they proceed to taunt Judy. She's on the ground. They're throwing trash at her. You see Rita Connors in the background. You see Allie Novak sitting in her chair, all right? You see Ruby. Zaina's in the mix. At one point, you see a different shot. You see Mari up in that bitch, okay? The only person who I don't remember seeing, and I'm gonna check my photos right now, is Boomer. Boomer's not in these photos. Mullet is up in here. Everyone's in here. It's a fucking lynching. They're lynching her in. They are wherever the trash goes to get tossed. I've never seen this area in Wentworth Correctional Center. So they're dunking Judy Bryant. They've got her in the water, but this is definitely not a murder scene. They're dunking Judy, and I'm saying to myself, why? Is it because of Allie's stabbing, retaliation for the stabbing of Allie? Because she's there, you know what I'm saying? Unless Lou is forcing them all to be there to watch this. So it's either one of two things. Either they found out that Judy stabbed Allie, and this is retaliation, and Lou found out that Judy stole the phone and the bread, the money, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a joint retaliation type of a thing. But they don't kill her. They don't kill her because Lou decides, I can't kill you. You have to work off your debt, motherfucker. Like, I'm not letting this go. What you think? You're gonna just steal my money and it's gonna be okay? I'ma just dunk you and let you in the water and let you live? They dunk Judy. They teach her lesson. The bitch almost dies. She swallows a massive amount of water. She's choking. She's fucking losing it in the water. She's about to die in there. When all of a sudden they pull her out and they throw her to the ground. And then Lou declares her, okay, her prison bitch, now and forever, until the day that she dies. Back to Lou and her grieving. So we see her, she's a grieving widow, you know what I'm saying? And what happens? We see this picture of her screaming. You could tell she's screaming. Look at the intensity in her eyes. She don't play no games. So she's screaming at someone. And I was like, I know exactly what's going on here. She's screaming at someone. And then you see a picture of Joan and Eve and Mari. And I was like, light bulb. The light bulb happened. The light bulb moment in my brain happened. And I was like, I know what's happening here. So Lou comes back to the unit to find a new inmate, Eve Wilder, in Reb Keen's cell. Oh, shit. For what is that gonna be? Lou is flipping the fuck out. After this, she's like, oi! What the fuck you doing in my man's cell? This cell is off limits. Nobody comes into this cell. She's letting Eve know, listen, I don't know what you thought, but you thought wrong. And they're arguing. I don't know what's the outcome. I don't know if Lou ends up being able to get Reb's cell, which I hope happens. Listen, why would they give Reb's cell to anyone else other than Lou? All I know is that they need to get Eve the fuck out of Reb's cell. That's not right. Put Lou in there and call it a day. All those drawings in the background of the bulletin board, those trees, I was like, oh my God, if this is my precious baby love's room, my precious baby love loves the forest, okay? Or she loves Christmas because they're evergreen trees. But I was like, you know, she's just a good person deep down inside who was treated badly. And so, you know, these are the results. We see photos of Rita arriving back to Wentworth. She's in the back of the brawler. You know what I'm saying? That's what they call those vans that pick up the fucking women. I know way too much about the inner workings of prison. Mind you, I've never been to prison. You know, holding cells, bookends, yes, but never prison. And never for very long. So don't go thinking I'm some type of fucking, I don't know what I am. I am what I am. We see her in the van, in the brawler, and then we see her coming out, like stepping out of the brawler. We see these pictures of Rita and Ruby. And I feel what's going on in these pictures is they've just found out that their dad didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't survive. And it's going to be a sad moment in Wentworth because, you know, what the fuck? Nobody wants to lose their dad, especially if you love them, okay? Like I love my dad. Then we get these pictures of like a lunchroom scene, a cafeteria scene. And this cafeteria, yo, this don't look like the regular cafeteria that we've come to know and love in Wentworth. This looks like a totally different cafeteria. I don't know. Maybe it's just the angle of the camera. But we see people looking, and what they're looking at is Rita. She's at the lunch line, okay? You know, let me just say, Rita, she's, you know, Rita looks good. I'm not gonna lie. Rita's out, she's standing at the lunch line looking good, okay? I don't really know what's going on, but I'm thinking that this is probably before the fight between Luke Kelly and Rita in the yard. We also see some pictures of Anne flipping the fuck out and yelling in Vera's face. You know what I'm saying? She's like, if it was, listen, I'm gonna need for you to back the fuck up and get the fuck out of my face. Because if you come too close to my face, I'm gonna feel threatened. And then I don't know what I'm gonna do next. So what I'm thinking happens here is they're outside. It looks like that scene where Anne has got Judy tied up to some poles, some fucking bars or whatever the fuck this is. I thought this was inside the boiler room, but looking at these pictures, it looks like this might be taking place outside. There's a lot of outside scenes in this season. So I'm thinking that Vera walks in on this beating, okay, and stops it. She stops the beating. And then Anne flips out on Vera. The last thing I wanted to talk about was Eve Wilder and the case of the curious eye. So what happens to her eye? In my last video, I'm looking at the pictures and I'm like, yo, that looks like a spoon. It looks rounded like a spoon. I have better quality photos now, and if you look, you see Eve Wilder on the floor with a bloody eye. You see Linda like, oh shit, what's this? You know what I'm saying? What's happened? And in her hand is the fucking spoon. So I think the mystery's been solved here, world. I think the spoon on the rope, that first photo that we saw of the spoon on the rope, it's Eve. It's Eve. And she's going to use that spoon to gouge her own fucking eye out. That's fucking crazy. Like, what in the hell is wrong with you, bitch? Why are you doing this? I was saying in my last video, either she's a fucking crazy ass bitch, okay? Or Joan Ferguson manipulated her into scooping her own eye out the way she manipulated Jodie Spiteri into stabbing her shit. I don't know what's going on here, but I know Linda finds her. And there's also this picture of Linda looking like she sees some shit. So this is, I think, the moment where whoever dies in that freezer is found. Because if you look behind Linda, it looks like other freezers and or refrigerators. I don't know, appliances of some sort. They're there. So this is the scene in which either A, because I still believe it's either Officer Number 3, or Dr. Miller in that freezer. And the last group of photos is Allie. Allie in bed. I think she's in psych, or she's in the hospital, she's in medical, she's in psych, she's somewhere, but she's in a bed. She's talking to Vera, she's talking to Dr. Miller. She looks like she's struggling with an issue, you know what I'm saying? And then we see this photo. Do you see the left-hand corner? Is that the left-hand corner? Do you see the bottom left-hand corner? What do you see there? It looks like some light. Oh my God, could it be B. Smith? The second coming of B. Smith? Like, I don't know. So yeah, that's it. After this video, there's going to be one more video that I'm going to be posting, and then that's it until the first episode review. Oh my God, I'm so excited. All right, you already know, world. If you like this video, like it, subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell so that you can be alerted for when I post videos in the future. And that's it. That's it. All right, world. Thanks for watching.